Just ahead on CTV News tonight, Maryland transportation agencies face deep budget cuts, plus tips on how to care for your live Christmas tree.
I got Scotch pines, the most traditional Christmas trees, and I have Fraser firs and the Douglas firs, high-end quality trees that retains needles better, got the better smells and all of that.
And the wise Pumas win big. That and more, all coming up next on CTV News.
Good evening, I'm Byron Scott with the CTV News Update. Well, some high-profile plans for Maryland's long-term transportation projects may have to be scaled back. This after a projected shortfall in funding in the billions of dollars. Without a new revenue stream, lawmakers are looking at significant cuts to numerous projects. NDOT officials have a variety of projects planned, including Baltimore's Red Line, a rapid transit system in southern Maryland, and the Purple Line light rail. State projections have placed the shortfall at around $3 billion. Well, the 2023 legislative session for Prince George's County Council is over. Since the body convened in January, it has passed numerous pieces of legislation, including the Walkable Urban Streets Act, the CHIPS Act, and a historic bill that establishes a Black maternal health fund. Councilwoman Ingrid Watson gives this year's session high marks.
The overall thoughts for me is that we did a great job getting some very impactful legislation passed, and it's really all about the people, and that is what this county council is all about, making sure that people's quality of life is the way that it should be, and it is good, and that they enjoy being here and certainly living in Prince George's County.
And tomorrow, the council convenes to elect a new council chair and vice chair for the 2024 legislative year. Well, 3 Democratic candidates take center stage in the race for the U.S. Senate seat being vacated by Senator Ben Cardin. Yesterday's forum in Bladensburg was hosted by the Latino Democrats of Prince George's County and addressed issues impacting the community. The 3 candidates, Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks, Congressman David Trone, and businessman Juan Dominguez, made promises during the forum that frequently overlapped, including on redistricting and expanding voting access for undocumented immigrants. By the way, one of yesterday's moderators was CTV's own Patricia Vallone. Well, according to real estate data firm Adam, foreclosures nationwide were down in October. Foreclosure filings in October showed a 6.3% drop from the previous month. That said, it's still a significant problem in Maryland, which ranked 4th in the nation in October. Of the 981 units that went into foreclosure in Maryland that month, most were in Baltimore City, followed by Charles, Calvert, Somerset, and Prince George's County. Well, the city of Bowie has been put on an alert due to a string of carjackings that took place last month. Chief Dwayne Preston released a statement to residents making them aware of 5 recent carjackings and the potential danger they pose. Bowie police will increase patrols in the evenings and overnight in an attempt to combat the uptick in crime. The chief says he believes the carjackings are being perpetrated by those who don't live in the city of Bowie. Well, 6 firefighters are out of the hospital after being injured last night when their fire truck overturned on the way to a fire. The College Park Station truck crashed at around 11 o'clock along Good Luck Road and Kenilworth Avenue. All 6 firefighters suffered minor injuries and were taken to an area hospital for evaluation. No other vehicles were involved in the crash. Well, a Prince George's officer charged with murder tells jurors that his handcuffed suspect grabbed his loose gun. The former officer, Michael Owen, testified in his own defense today, saying that the suspect, 43-year-old Michael Green, began violently struggling inside his car after his arrest. During the struggle, Owen said he heard a gun fall into the console of his car and that Green grabbed it, despite being handcuffed behind his back. Owen says he then regained control and fired at Green, fearing the suspect might have another gun. Owen became the first officer in the county to be charged with murdering a suspect just one day after the incident, January 27, 2020, in Temple Hills. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Byron Scott. After the break, tips on how to care for your live Christmas tree. That story and more, back in just a bit.
Dear Santa, this year, the only thing I want for Christmas is for kids to get the help they need. Their support allows the doctors and nurses at Shriners Hospitals for Children to give the most amazing care. This Christmas, all you have to do is go to loveshriners.org right now.
Welcome back. Inflation seems to be impacting every aspect of life, from the gas pump to the grocery store to Christmas trees. According to reports, 25% of American tree farms have increased their wholesale prices by 15% this year. But at this Christmas tree stand at the Greenway Shopping Center in Greenbelt, tree prices have remained the same as last year. Shoppers can pick from a Scotch pine, Douglas fir, or Fraser fir. Since opening a little more than 2 weeks ago, this stand has sold about 50 of its 400 trees. CTV News spoke to the tree seller about tips on how to keep the trees looking and lasting all month long.
First thing you always got to do is maintain water in the base. But then I also have a preservative that you can mix with the water that helps the longevity of the tree. Get them as soon as possible, because there's not going to be any more as soon as these are gone. Secondly, we keep them away from heat source. Keep them away from heat, keep them watered.
The Christmas tree stand at the Greenway Shopping Center is open every day from 8 until 10 p.m. Well, 2 Maryland kids are competing on the show Master Chef Junior Home for the Holidays next week. 9-year-old Zara Spriggs from Upper Marlboro and 10-year-old Elijah Zelaya from Ellicott City will take part. They are competing against 7 other kids from across the country to make holiday-themed treats for $25,000, along with some other prizes. You can watch the 2 show off their cooking skills on December 10th at 8 o'clock. Well, an update on a fatal collision that occurred Friday in Landover. Police have identified the deceased driver as 27-year-old Andravine Bryan of Laurel. The accident happened just after 1 a.m. at Landover Road and Kenttown Place. Investigators say a car and SUV collided. Bryan was driving the SUV. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The other driver suffered serious injuries. Any more information on the case, asked to call police at 301-731-4422. And police are investigating a fatal shooting that occurred in Capitol Heights. It happened just after 11 o'clock last night on the 4800 block of Marlboro Pike. That's where they found the victim in the parking lot, suffering from a gunshot wound. She's been ID'd as 45-year-old Aisha Nickens of Washington, D.C. She was taken to a nearby hospital where she was pronounced dead. Anyone with information has to call Crime Solvers at 1-866-411-TIPS. And for years, many Maryland lawmakers have tried to pass legislation that would legalize medical aid in dying, only to see it fail. But could next year bring a change? According to Maryland Matters, supporters of aid in dying legislation say 2024 may be the year due to a changing political climate and overall support for the measure. The bill would allow for a position to assist in easing the pain of dying for those facing a terminal illness. 10 other states, including D.C., have passed similar legislation. Well, 2 Maryland officials are in Dubai for the annual International Climate Conference underway in the United Arab Emirates. U.S. Senator Ben Cardin and State Environmental Secretary Serena McElwain are attending the 2-week conference officially known as COP28. The event brings together policymakers, environmentalists, business leaders, and others to set international goals for fighting climate change. They also discuss ways to finance clean energy and look at technology demonstrations. And now Simon Buggs here with the Monday Sports page. Simon?
Good evening, Byron.
Hey.
And hey there, everyone. And coming up on your Monday Sports page, some highlights from the state championship game that took place between the Wise and Broadneck High School football teams. Don't go away. You said that kind of weird.
You gotta believe without seeing. You gotta keep going, keep breathing. When you face a day that feels like you're gonna break, lean on the ones that love you. So guardian angels above you. And think the borrowing pink is just another color.
Well, winter is almost here, and animal management wants you to remember that cold weather can pose serious threats to your health, to the health of your 4-legged pet, which is why they recommend that you keep them inside. But when you do take them out for a walk, closely monitor your pets while outside. Animal management says if it's too cold for you, it's too cold for your pet.
Similar to us, pets also get cold. So if you see that they're having labored breathing, or that they look in distress or lethargic, make sure that you're bringing them in the house. Make sure you're keeping an eye on their food and water if you're feeding them or providing them water outside. And then remember, if it's too cold for you, it's too cold for your pet.
And county law prohibits all domestic animals except livestock from being kept outdoors when the wind chill is 32 degrees or lower.
Good evening, sports fans. We begin your Monday sports page with some high school football action. Football team was in action over the weekend, taking on Broadneck in the state championship game, and the Pumas made some great plays during it. Starting with some first quarter action, the Pumas struggled offensively, but the defense did make some plays like this sack to force a Bruin safety. But in the second quarter, the Pumas offense got into a rhythm and was able to score their first touchdown of the night thanks to this run by playmaker DeCarlos Young. And the Pumas defense continued to make plays in the quarter, such as this pick by linebacker Cade Avery. Wise's offense picked right back up where they left off when they took the field as they had another big run, this time by running back Gregory Pruitt III to get to the 6-yard line. And the Pumas took advantage of the field position by being able to run it in for another touchdown, giving Young his second of the night. And Wise would lead going into halftime up 15-0. Moving on to the second half, the Pumas continued to lean on their run game and had success as they were able to get another touchdown run by running back Peyton Nelson. Wise would hold the Bruins to being scoreless in the second half as well and win the state championship 21-0. CTV Sports caught up with head coach DeLon Parrish after the victory, and he touched on how proud he is of his squad.
I'm just proud of all the young men that I've ever coached and how hard they work. All of my coaches from the beginning to now, they put a lot of time in Prince George's County. You know, the schools are late, so we get out at 3:40, practice go from 4 to 6:30. We don't get home till like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And we've been doing this now. We've been fortunate to do it, I don't know, it seems like 13 times all the way from August to December, November. So I savor every moment. I don't take anything for granted. I'm just proud of all of it. I'm proud of it.
Congratulations, Wise, for bringing home the state championship. You definitely earned it. And lastly, the UMD women's basketball team won their 4th game in a row yesterday, defeating George Mason 86-77. They will take the court next versus Northwestern on Sunday.
Let's get a quick check now on our 3-day weather forecast tonight. Mostly cloudy with a low of 33 degrees. Tuesday, partly sunny with a low of 35. Wednesday, partly sunny, temps reaching 45. And Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 45 degrees. And now the community calendar. Come out to the Riverdale's House Museum for a visit with Good Nicholas. Learn about Belgian customs, enjoy festive crafts, snacks, and even get a chance to get a gift to take home. It takes place Saturday, December 9th from 9 till 10 in the morning and from 11 till noon. For more information, call 301-864-0420. And that's the news for tonight. I'm Byron Scott.
And I'm Simon Buggs.
See you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.